Okay, I want to quickly show how these boom chain problems are actually really easy if you're lucky enough to get one on the test where it says that the boom has negligible mass, which basically means we can just ignore the mass of the boom and pretend it doesn't have any mass. So if you look at the first problem we did earlier with the 1730 Newton sine out here, and then the chain is pulling up this way. If there's no boom mass, we don't have to put a mass out here, then we don't have to really worry about torques here. And normally we had a boom force going like this, and then there was also one coming up here that was balancing out the ups and downs. But if there's no boom mass, then this thing doesn't exist anymore. And really the only thing that we have is the boom, a force coming down along the boom. So what I like to do, if I get a problem that says the boom has no mass, then what I do is I just kind of extend that force. I kind of just have the boom, pushing out on this point like this. So right here at this point, you have a force pulling down this way, you have a force pulling up this way, and technically a force going out like this way. And this is all in static equilibrium, which means all three of these forces, that's all the three forces we only have, and they all need to add up to zero. If I added them all up, tail head to tail head to tail head, it'd be zero, which makes this really easy because watch. Here's the angle, 37 degrees, okay? Here's the boom force going this way. And then you could say, well, now here from tail, here's the chain force. And really all I got to do is take this force and I can put it right up in here. So I go tail head, see I have tail head, and then I can take this force and put it up in here. So I have tail head. And I know that the head of the last vector needs to be on the tail of the first because the resultant is zero. So really what I have is I have a triangle here, okay? And I know that this side over here is 1730. So if I have an angle in this opposite side, I can figure out the boom force and I can figure out the chain force. The chain force, if I do tangent of 37, that'd be opposite 1730 over the boom. Okay, and I could also do sine of 37 would be 1730 over the chain. So the chain, so the boom would equal 1730 divided by the tangent of 37, and the chain would equal 1730 divided by the sine of 37. So if the boom is negligible mass, then all you got to do is just put the boom force right along the boom, have the chain force be there, and then take your weight on the end and just put it in as the third force, the third side of the triangle. And then you have an angle and you have one of the sides of the triangle. You can figure it all out really, really easy. So the second problem, remember, I had a boom that kind of went up like this, and there was a chain that kind of came up this way, and then there was a sine that went down this way, and this was 1960. And if you remember, this was 80 degrees, and this was 60 degrees. That's 140. So this would be 40. Yeah, 140. This would be 40 degrees. Okay, and the chain force is going up like this. Okay, the boom force, now remember, instead of having to, we just take the boom force up like right along this, so it's pushing out that way. Okay, and that's tail head. So really I can just take this weight and put it up in here, so I can go from the head of this one down to here and make that be 1960. And now I have, this is the boom, this is the chain, I got all three angles, and I have a side here. So all I can do here is law of sines. So I could do like, C over the sine of 60 would equal 1960 over the sine of 80. That would also equal B over the sine of 40. Those three ratios would all be the same. So you can easily cross multiply and divide here and get the chain, or cross multiply and divide here and you get the B. So it's weight, if negligible mass in the boom, then basically you have a triangle, and you take the weight and put it up into the third part of the triangle, got your boom force, got your chain force, and you can solve super easy. So when you're on the Jedi trial, you will be hoping to get a boom chain problem that has negligible mass.